Okay, hello. Welcome to Spotlight Series with MediaCom. In each of these videos, we will be shining a light on our clients' recent campaigns during the coronavirus pandemic. We'll be talking about the genesis of the campaign and delving a little deeper into how their businesses and our industry has had to adapt since the crisis began. I'm Kate Rowlinson, CEO of MediaCom UK, and I'm delighted to have with me today Rob Hattrell, who is the Vice President of eBay UK. Hi, Rob.
Okay, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks for joining me today. Really glad that we can get the opportunity to talk about this brilliant campaign. If I could just start then by asking you about your experiences in lockdown. I mean, how has eBay had to adapt to what are the big challenges that you've faced since going into lockdown?
Well, look, the way we thought about it and the way I guess I've thought about it is the first thing first is had to get my team safe and secure and us carry on working. So before you start thinking about what we do out in the market, it's making sure that we as a team can function and continue to work and everyone is safe. And we, like I'm sure everyone, has had to change the way everyone works. We're doing a lot more video stuff.
Yeah.
We run the business virtually. I'm sure everyone's got used to that. For us, it was maybe an easier step. We did quite a lot of those things virtually anyway. But nevertheless, your first focus as anybody running any business is to make sure my team is good and safe and secure, and we change the way we work to do that.
So this campaign, it's a brilliant campaign because it actually, it really harnesses that core kind of DNA of eBay, doesn't it? Which is you are a platform that supports small and medium-sized businesses. So, but this campaign was born out of the pandemic, as far as I understand it. I mean, can you talk a little bit about the genesis of the campaign and how it came about?
You believed, I think, and you worked with us on it, was this sure-footed belief that will judge you as a business on how you behaved in these moments, right? And I've always believed that personally, and I think particularly in the case of COVID, that became more and more acute. So we did a bunch of things on the platform. We did some partnerships with the UK government, transport PPE. We did some work with the charity sector. What we found in the moment of the COVID crisis, I think, is a clarity of thought that we just wanted to determinedly and confidently express who we are. And who we actually are is we are a technology company that supports small businesses. And the heroes of eBay is not eBay. The heroes of eBay are the 300,000 small businesses and enterprises who work up and down the country. And they kept the nation moving. They were the ones who did it. We ran the technology, right? In relative, like, that's hard. That's a difficult thing to do. It's complex, but like the real hard work happens in the offices up and down the country, the warehouses up and down the country that people kept buying and selling to keep customers in contact with the things that they wanted and needed. So those two things kind of go together, and that kind of say, well, that's what we should talk about. That we should put that in a campaign, and we should articulate that.
And I think you actually involved a lot of those small businesses directly, didn't you? They featured in the ads. And they were actually kind of there representing their businesses. How did you interact with them and get them to kind of be the stars in the campaign?
So a complex process of mass briefing, as you can imagine. I mean, everyone went off and did a lot of UGC type implementations. We went out and reached out to a lot of our sellers. We asked them to create us some content that we could stitch together, and so it's a really big logistical exercise to reach out to our seller community, ask for them to give us content that allowed us to express their stories, and they were more than willing to provide it. And then we work with creative agencies to then pull that together in a way that kind of flows neatly. But it's all material, photos, videos, testimonial, audio, all from those guys out. And all we do is coordinate it.
I mean, that must have been a huge amount of content to sift through, though. I mean, how did you? What were the kind of challenges in sifting through all of that content? How did you decide, which ones you were going to feature? It must have been a really not an easy process.
So definitely not easy, but I think we'll solve that because I think it's been so successful. We're now going to keep going. So we've got a load of material now that we will basically continue. I think we'll continue with this train of thought, and we'll continue to utilize it. So nothing that got produced will get wasted, but you have to kind of make decisions. And I mean, we tried to anchor it off two things. One is what sellers who we thought were relevant for customers, so things that were selling that were relevant for that moment in time, and sellers who increasingly reflect the kind of society that we live in and the customer base that we have as well. I mean, the truth of eBay is when you buy on eBay, you buy off someone who looks and sounds like you, who's just an awesome. These are small enterprise business owners. Like some of them are really successful. They run £1 million enterprises, but some of them are running, tiny, one-man shops. But so we just wanted to express the humanity of that, really, frankly, and just get that across. So that was kind of the guide on the content, was just let's use sellers who are kind of selling things which are relevant for consumers at that moment in time, but actually let's just express the humanity that's going on eBay and those and give credence and elevate those. Because
and that really comes across as well. I mean, there's a real warmth in the ads and the campaign, and it was very visible. I remember because I was in that period of lockdown, I was just kind of scouring newspapers, just reading print newspapers. We think we were all just devouring news, and that campaign really stood out to me. The thing what you say is really interesting. So a lot of the campaigns that we've created in lockdown were kind of very specific to lockdown and probably may not have longevity beyond that. But it sounds like is this going to have longevity beyond the coronavirus pandemic? Is it going to be a platform that you use moving forward?
Yeah, so look, it comes back to this is who we are, right? So we are a platform that supports, and we only exist really, frankly, to support small businesses and human beings that run those businesses. We do a technology thing which connects those businesses with sellers. That's a very simple articulation of what eBay is, and therefore what we discovered in the intensity, I guess, of the moment COVID is this is us the confidence to talk about that more, and we think it worked. We got plenty of good feedback on it. Our sellers loved it. We love it. We're super proud to work with them. So we want to keep doing this because I think this authentically expresses who we are and what eBay is really about. And with 350 or so thousand of them, there's quite a lot of content to get through.
Yeah, which is great. You've got a stash of content you can just start using. I mean, what about from a production point of view? Any unique challenges, given that normally you'd be in the agency, recording stuff as normal? What were the challenges in getting it actually produced, like the TV ad, for example?
Well, like everything we're doing, you're doing everything virtually, and I think probably if you of any of our processes, like getting creative done remotely is probably the hardest thing. There's something about the creative process that needs kind of you to be in the same room to express. I think that has been super hard for the team, and our creative agency and you guys and our team work super hard. I know remotely that's extremely challenging. Look, everyone was in it together as a massive team effort across a lot of different agencies and across our team, and everyone kind of did the best they could given the circumstances, and that's super hard and draining on everyone to do it over video, but that's the only way you can do it. You have to do it over video, iterate and work as best you can.
How do you think it will change how you do things in the future, this campaign?
So I think as we discussed, I think we'll do this more often. We'll definitely be more front and center with sellers at the game forward. The other thing about it, which kind of we got to it super fast, right? So we went through that process faster than normal. I think there's some learning for us in that. I haven't crystallized it all, but there's a bit where getting something out there that wasn't probably 100% perfect was probably fine. Look, we know we've gone back in, and there's other iterations now coming where we sharpen up some of the bits and pieces of it. But I do wonder whether the urgency of the moment, we learned something about the speed of getting something out there, and maybe as we get forward into other processes, we can start thinking about how we do that more often. That would be my...
Yeah. And what about the response to the campaign? I mean, I think I get the feeling talking to the team, it's been successful, but how would you kind of talk about the response to it and the success?
So look, we're delighted with it in terms of response, but sellers have featured have obviously been delighted with it. Been delighted in general because we want to showcase them, and for consumers it seems to resonate and score well. So we're super pleased with it, and we'll carry on with that as a consequence.
It must have connected you. Has it connected you more to the sellers on the platform? Or were you already very...
Well, I'd hope we already were. I'd hope we already were. I think what it hopefully does, it just illustrates more to consumers at large that behind the tech platform, on the tech platform, are like 300,000 like small businesses, and the owners and runners of those businesses are just like you and me. They're just normal people. Like they're not. So I hope that actually, rather than it kind of made us connected, it hopefully connected our sellers with our customers a bit more.
Yeah,
maybe.
absolutely. No, I think that's a really, really good point. Brilliant. Rob, thank you so much for joining us today. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Picture this. Small businesses on eBay are
boxing up books and posting them out.
Sending bags for your weekly shop.
Pots to novice gardeners.
Putting on a brew and ploughing on.
Working from gardens.
Kitchen tables.
And spare rooms.
thousands of small businesses on eBay are helping to keep the nation going. They are individually brilliant, stronger as one. Buy, sell, eBay.